Hey everybody, it's Jennifer Seven, and I wanted to welcome you to week 2 of our tune-up challenge. So welcome. And today we are going to be talking about social occasions, eating out, and we'll touch on alcohol. But what I wanted to start with first, and just so you know, it's Jennifer Seven, in case you didn't know it was me. I wanted to start with an affirmation. So in your tune-up packet, you've got a list of affirmations, and it's wonderful if you want to utilize those throughout this tune-up. So the one I thought I would start with today is, I am following my weight loss plan with ease. So that's your affirmation for today. It's week 2. Hopefully you're over the worst of it and enjoying being on the program. So you're on protocol, you're trying to stay on track, but then you have social occasions coming up. What you're going to need to do is really make a plan before you go out. Think about what you're doing and where you're going. We know that to be prepared is to be successful. People love to encourage people to eat, especially when it's a social occasion. And when you get together, there's always food and there's always drinks, and everyone feels like, to be a good hostess, that you need to eat and drink with them. But we know that when we're trying to stay on plan, those occasions can be really difficult. So some ways to deal with these situations. First off, I think a lot of times it can be family members that give us the hardest time. And if you can talk to the family member ahead of time and let them know. I know sometimes that's really awkward and uncomfortable, but if you feel comfortable enough to talk to your family member, let them know that you are trying to eat and drink a certain way, and that if they can respect that with you. Now, I know sometimes people equate food with love. So if you are going somewhere and it's your mother has made this most amazing lasagna, and if you don't eat it, then she doesn't feel loved. She feels very hurt. Then that's difficult. That's a very difficult situation. But I think if you can come up with some words to use, or you don't have to eat everything on your plate. Maybe you take a little bit, but you just have one tiny little bite, or not. Not is better, of course. Perhaps you say something like, I'm following a medically supervised eating plan for my health, and so I just can't have that, but thank you so much. So I think if you can share that with a family member, or I know it's really difficult, but possibly with your friend or whoever you're going, if you're going to someone's house, you're not trying to be antisocial, you're just on a restricted food plan for your health. Most people, if you have the courage to actually put it out there, will be respectful and encourage you in that. If you need to, before you're going to go out, practice it, write it down, maybe practice it with a family member or a buddy, or if there's somebody else in this group that you can practice what you want to say to someone. That's helpful. I think if you're going out, make sure that you are watching what you drink. Sometimes it's helpful to take your own drinks to the function. If you're at a party and everybody's got a drink in their hand, they don't really know what you're drinking. So of course, water with lemon or lime is good, but you can bring your own drink, your own protein drink, the pina colada, the orange, the peach mango. If you've got that in your hand, no one's going to be looking at you wondering what the heck you're doing or why you're not drinking what everyone else is drinking. If you can't bring your own, then you might want to ask for a sparkling water, a Perrier or a Pellegrino water. And again, with a lemon or lime in it, no one will ever have to know what you're drinking, and it just doesn't have to be an issue. What is nice is if the sparkling doesn't have any sodium or phosphoric acid in it. So if you're drinking sparkling waters, that's what you want to look for. Of course, you may not have that option. So any kind of sparkling water is going to be better than if you go off your plan and have alcohol. And so then that brings me to alcohol. As you all know, it is not allowed on this weight loss protocol. And it's not just because we don't want you to drink, but alcohol has a lot of calories in it, but what happens when you're on a ketogenic program such as this one, it can really mess with your body. So what happens is when you're in ketosis, the liver and the kidneys are actually producing the glucose to maintain your proper blood sugar levels. And actually, alcohol can stop the production of sugar in the liver, which can then cause you to become very hypoglycemic. It can cause your blood sugar to really drop. And when that happens, you could potentially pass out. You could really, if you were driving, you got pulled over, you would spike a breathalyzer because it really affects how your body's working with alcohol when you're in ketosis. So it's best to avoid. What a lot of people don't realize is how many calories are in alcohol. So even if you are trying to drink a low sugar alcohol, there's still a lot of calories to it. So it can totally throw you off of your weight loss plan and kick you right out of ketosis. So there's the health benefit from it, but then there's also how it slows down your weight loss. The body perceives alcohol as a toxin, so it has to process any alcohol that comes in first before it can even go back to working on your weight loss. So avoid. It's best to avoid. I always tell people this is not AA. You will get it back when you're done. It's just best to be avoided while you're on the protocol. That's all I want to really talk about with alcohol on this call. We're going to do another call that's on liquid calories. So I will be talking a little bit more about your drinks. Drinks can really sneak up on you, whether they're alcohol or not. They can really affect your weight loss plan. Okay, so back to strategies. If you know you're going out, make sure you eat your protein meal before you go. That will help you to be far less tempted and far less hungry. You get to the party, there's tables and tables full of all kinds of yummy hors d'oeuvres. If you've eaten something before you go, you'll be more successful. And I always say keep a little package on you in your purse, or just so if you really need to eat something, it's better that you eat one of your proteins from us rather than you indulge in one of those fatty, sugary, high carbohydrate kind of snacks. If you have to eat something, or if you really need to eat something, hopefully there's going to be some veggies there. So go for the veggies, and then avoid the dips. Avoid the dips. They're usually loaded with sugar and fat. And if you can, just stay away from the food table. That's really a good strategy. People tend to congregate around the kitchen, around the food, but if you could just stay away, it will really help you. Again, if you can, talk to the host or hostess beforehand just to let them know you have dietary guidelines, and hopefully you won't get any pressure. But another strategy would be to offer to bring a dish, something that you can eat, that you can control. So bring your own platter of veggies, and you could bring your own dip. You could get a Walden Farms dip, whatever. You bring that, or you could even bring a side dish. There's some fabulous side dishes you could prepare, like cauliflower or potato salad. Bring your own thing that you can eat. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Okay, if you're eating dinner, you want to try to avoid extra fats, so extra carbohydrates and sugars. So again, stick with your proteins and your vegetables, just like what you're supposed to do. If you can have a salad, eat the salad first, and that will definitely make you more full than if they're, depending on what's being served, you could have, there's chicken, you don't know how it's prepared, but you could try to take the skin off just to eat the chicken. If there's vegetables, try to eat the vegetables that you can and have that salad beforehand, because it's going to help so much. But again, remember that dressings are usually loaded with sugars and fat. So if you can do oil and vinegar, that's going to be your best option if you're having a salad. Restaurant dressings are notoriously, they're delicious, but they're so full of sugar. So oil and vinegar, that's a great way to go. Again, if you're going somewhere that's potluck, bring your own dish that you can eat. You could have a chicken and lettuce salad. Bring a dressing that you make. You could do a lovely oil and vinegar dressing with some lemon, maybe a little garlic powder and some salt, and have a really delicious dressing. Okay. Remember to eat slowly, whatever kind of situation that you're in. We want to chew our food. We don't want to eat too fast. And remember to be drinking plenty of water. If you're hungry, sometimes the first sign of dehydration is hunger. So you're going to want to drink water, and then eat. Eat slowly, chew your food, smell your food, enjoy your food, and you want to slow that whole process down, because what happens is if we eat too fast, it takes about 20 minutes for our brain and our stomach to catch up with each other. So if we continue eating, it's going to be 20 minutes before the brain realizes, oh, I'm actually full. And so we might have overeaten. So slow down, have some water, chew your food, enjoy your food. We so often don't enjoy our food. We just gulp. We eat too fast. Sometimes it's difficult. It is difficult, but having that plan, knowing ahead of time how you're going to manage the situation. Now, if you're going to a restaurant, it's not a friend's house, it's a restaurant, you have a lot of control in the situation, believe it or not. You can look at the menu. Most restaurants are happy to accommodate. We're totally happy to accommodate special requests. More and more, especially in our area, people are gluten-free. They're got all kinds of dietary restrictions. Again, you don't have to tell the wait staff that you're on a diet. You can just tell them you are on a medical program, or perhaps that you have allergies. Allergies, that's a really good one. A lot of people respect that, especially restaurants. They really have to respect allergies. So it's okay, you have an allergy to sugar. So some of the things you can do when you're eating out is, first of all, besides the restaurant, besides the menu, think about who you're going out with. So if it's just a group of girlfriends and you're going out and it's a happy hour, that can be problematic. Sometimes you might have to make the choice not to go because you just can't be with those people right now. Again, it's temporary. Everything in life is temporary. This has a beginning, it has an end, but sometimes they're those friends that you go out with and they're like, oh, you look great, don't worry about it. You can have that glass of wine, just have one glass of wine. Or you can have some dessert, don't worry about it. So think about who you're going out. Okay. Back to the restaurant. So again, looking at the menu, thinking about where you're going. Try to pick a restaurant that is going to be more accommodating. It's going to be a lot harder to get what you need at a fast food place. But if you go somewhere a little bit nicer, you can control things. Study it. Talk to the servers. Ask them. So many times when I go out, I'll be like, I'm going to get a chicken Caesar salad, but I don't want the cheese, I don't want the croutons, and I don't want the dressing. And then I'll say, can I just get oil and vinegar on the side? And then it's not much of a salad anymore, but it works for me. And another great suggestion is just don't ask for the bread not to be brought to the table, because it's so tempting. And I think one of my favorite places is Sweetwater Tavern, and they have these amazing little beignets that are delicious and warm, and they bring it out in a little basket with butter, and it's just like, oh, I love those things, and they're just delicious. So it's very hard for me to resist if they bring them. So it's just better, just don't bring the bread basket, don't even bring it to the table. Much better than to have to face constantly all that temptation. Remember about the salad dressings, we talked about that. Remember that if it's a low-fat dressing, that typically will mean it has more sugar in it to make it flavorful. So watch out for low-fat. That's really not your friend in dressings. I would recommend oil and vinegar, or if you know you're going out, you can even get those little packets of Walden Farms to-go packets, and then again, you can control the situation. If you are going to order meat, Again, try to get a lean meat. You could even ask them, can you trim off, if you're getting a steak, can you trim off any extra fat? Get a lean one. You want to ask if you're getting chicken, try to have a chicken that doesn't have the skin on it. You want to be very careful about sauces. To say no sauce. You could even tell them no dairy. I can't have dairy because many things are that have butter in them and cream in them. Vegetables might be made with butter. So if you say no dairy, that's very helpful. And go for veggies. Again, have the salad first. And you can customize that salad. If it's a house salad, you might say, these are certain things I can't have on my salad. And again, paying attention, no potatoes, just tell them I'm gonna have chicken breast and vegetables and that's all I want, and my salad, and you're good. Omitting the sauces. You could order half portions. So many restaurants have huge portions. It's a big thing that restaurants do nowadays. They come out with these big, huge portions. Honestly, we used to have small plates back in the day. Now all of our plates are so big, and so we get these huge portions. And if you're like my family, I grew up in a home that I was told you have to finish everything on your plate before you can leave the table. So we kind of grow up with that, and then it's really hard not to follow that. And especially when you're paying good money for your dinner, you think, oh gosh, I have to eat it all, but you don't. You can do half portions. You could split something with the person that you're with. Worst case, if get a big portion, you could say, look, I'd like to have a little to-go box, and cut it in half and set half aside. You can take it home with you. That could be your lunch for the next day. So half portions, totally doable. Remember, no alcohol when you're out, and that is also very tempting because you're out and you're thinking, oh, I just want to have a nice little glass of wine with my supper. No, just no. Get a nice iced tea, get a nice sparkling water with a lime. Again, have your vegetables steamed. I already mentioned eat slowly, and don't go out to dinner starving. Like, oh, I've waited all day long. I can't wait to go out and eat this fabulous supper. So don't do that. Have some of your protein bar or a snack before you go, and then you won't be starving and get there and then overeat. Know your meal plan, know what you're gonna have. You can order a la carte. You don't have to order a big dinner. You can pick and choose what you want. Think about your beverages. It's the other thing that happens. If you do end up drinking alcohol when you're out, it lowers your inhibitions, and then you're like, well, okay, maybe I will have that bread, or maybe I will have that dessert, and it's only one night, and then tomorrow I'll get back on track. So it's best to avoid, if you're really trying to stay on track, on plan, just don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to set yourself up for huge depression and potential failure, and then feeling so frustrated the next day that you did what you did. So try to avoid. Know your serving sizes. Ask your wait staff about it. How big is it? Again, that's another option. You only want 6 to 8 ounces. So if it's bigger than that, you could say, just I want half of that. It helps. So what I want to do now, because I've been talking quite a bit, is just to open it up by chat. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and chat me a question, and I'm here to answer. While I'm waiting to see if anyone wants to ask anything, I wanted to remind you that this Friday at noon is our cooking demo for this week with Coach Surinder, and that's going to be on Facebook. It'll be Facebook Live. I hope everybody can jump on. And Surinder's going to share a chicken recipe, chicken with vegetables and rotini. So it should be super easy and a lot of fun, and her food is so delicious no matter what, but I think it's a pretty easy recipe. So that will be noon on Friday. And our next masterclass will be Monday. So we're going to get back on Mondays next week, and Monday it will be on mindfulness, which I'm looking forward to sharing a lot about with you all, mindfulness, and how very helpful and important that can be on this program. I'm not sure how long everybody's been on the program, but it is week 2, so getting past week 1 is a huge accomplishment. So I'm like, yay, we've made it into week 2. Hopefully everybody's feeling better. If people are just getting started on the challenge, and if you're still in that rough couple of first days, just remember it's only the first few days, then you're going to start feeling great. Make sure you're drinking lots of your water, following the sheet. On this protocol, if you eat the sheets, you will be successful, and I hope everybody's having success. For those of you that were having trouble getting on the meditation, we did repost it as a YouTube, so I think most people can see it as a YouTube video. So I highly recommend you give those meditations a try, and I'd love for you to post on the Facebook page about how your experiences are going. How's your meditation going? Have you tried any of the recipes? We've had some good communication going on there. And if you're struggling, that's a great place to ask for help. If you're doing great, if you could share your success, you can't imagine how that might motivate somebody else. How did your first week go? Did you see a big drop? Was it a big win? Posting that, you don't have to say how much, but just share. I had a great week. I'm feeling good. I'm into day 4, day 5, day 10. And doing well. We are a community, and that is the best way to get through this, is really helping and sharing with each other. Okay, so mindfulness on Monday. This cooking demo is this Friday. You have affirmations in your packet. Use them. Post it on your, it would be great for you to post your affirmation on the Facebook page and how you're using it, and anything else that you would like to share. So I think that about wraps it up, unless somebody has a question. I'm not seeing any chat questions. We're going to we will put this on the Facebook page, and we will try to email it out so everybody can see it. And I apologize for the little bit of dog barking, but we're keeping it real here. So if anybody has any questions, chat me real quick. Otherwise, I'm hoping everybody's doing great, and now you know how to manage your social occasions. If you the other thing to do is to work with your coach if you have a very specific occasion coming up, especially if it's a really special event. Sometimes that needs a little extra planning, so talk to your coach about that. I hope everybody's getting in, seeing your coach, and doing great. I'm so proud of all of you, and I thank you for being part of this. And again, communicate with me. Let me know if you're not getting the emails, if you're not getting the meditations, if anything's going not the way you want it to. Just feel free to email me, Jennifer@7company.com, anytime. I'm here to help as well. So have a great rest of your week, and thank you for being on this call. Thank you.